Hi, this is going to be quick. I just had this on my mind. I saw on Twitter the people were getting all up in arms as weeb anime fans do because people just love to be mad about something that literally doesn't affect you, but whatever. People were getting all mad because this person made this tweet. If you can't read, because a lot of people apparently can't read or don't understand reading comprehension, I don't know if they just can't read, I don't know. Basically, this says if you haven't gone out and watched animes that aren't these mainstream animes, then you can't call yourself an anime fan. That's the gist of it. I'm not going to read you the entire thing because you can read it yourself, and most people didn't even take the time to do that, so fuck you if you think I'm reading it. Anyways, the thing that made me the most mad about all of this, because I'm a regular person that's not trying to have a moral high ground on someone saying that I'm not an anime fan because I don't watch things that aren't like Naruto and Bleach, which I do personally, but you get my point. People didn't even read it. A lot of people were in reply, like, fucking, it's bad when it's people with check marks that still can't read, or even people that have genuine followings and don't read. I don't get that. People were assuming, because mad anime nerds, that he was saying, if you don't watch these animes, then you're not an anime fan. When he was saying, if you don't watch shit outside of these animes, you're not an anime fan. That's the thing that pissed me off the most. Y'all can't read? You could make a post about it, take some moral high ground, do all that bullshit, but you can't read? That's what you're telling me? Reading was the most difficult thing you had to do in that situation? Bullshit. That shit pissed me off over everything. Because you haven't realized, and you're probably a baby if you haven't realized this, that one person who tweeted out that one thing randomly and did nothing else, they can't stop you from doing anything. They can't even influence you. They're nobody. They're some random guy on Twitter. What? The amount of power people were giving this person or acting like this person had, when it's like, no, he was some random guy on Twitter saying a lava hot take that most people didn't agree with, and half of y'all didn't read it, which made you look fucking stupid. But weebs are angry, so I guess we're just gonna overlook people not reading. I don't know. This is a fucking great example. I'm just gonna put it in wherever I feel like it because this is a quick video anyway. Here's a great example of why I kind of agree with this, but I really don't. Like, overall, I'm like, no, this is dumb. But this is a point where I'm like, okay, this makes sense. If it was in this context, I understand. And this is kind of what people aren't getting, which is kind of why it's vigorously frustrating. If you play Sims, right, and that's the only game you play, I wouldn't consider you a gamer. Let me explain why. I've had people like this. This is why it's infuriating. If you just play The Sims, and I recommend you games like The Sims, I recommend you different types of Sims. Like, why don't you try playing Sims 4? And you're like, no, I like playing Sims 3. And anything related to any other video game, you turn down. And you just like playing The Sims, don't tell me you like video games. Because that's what I'm going to assume. You like video games. You like other video games. You like even more than one. Do you get what I'm saying? And most of the time, they started playing that one game because you were playing. And that's why. It's like bitches. And this is a thing. And people want to act like it's not. It was. And let's stop acting like they weren't doing this. Bitches who were playing COD and GTA 5. Because their boyfriends were, and they want to be with their boyfriends, and they want to connect with them. Nothing wrong with that. I recommend you anything other than Call of Duty, Halo, any other shooter. You don't want to play it. You call it stupid in some cases. This is genuinely a thing that I've genuinely seen happen. This is why I'm saying this. It happens very often, which is bad. But I recommend you other games and you refuse them. I don't want you being called a gamer. Because gamer tells me you like games. So I'm going to recommend you games, whether it's in your genre, whether it's in a art style you like. I'm going to recommend you other games. But if you're refuting to play anything, I said refuting, didn't I? If you're refusing to play anything but these two games because you don't like anything else, not even because you played it or you've seen it, because you just don't want to play it, it's hard for me to then be like, oh, that person's a gamer. No, but like that person likes COD and whatnot, but they don't really play video games like that. Do you get what I'm saying? So why I don't understand maybe him specifically in this specific example of just like, you like watching Naruto or you watch this. Maybe as a kid, you might have used to be an anime fan. which is totally fine. You like those animes, those are part of your childhood, that's great. But if I try to recommend you something else to watch, or we try to watch something else together, or even rewatching those same shows, and you refuse that, and you don't want to watch that, and you don't care, how am it's just, I couldn't in all consciousness be like, hey, yeah, that person's an anime fan. I'm like, no, they liked watching this, or they watched it as a child, but they don't really like that no more. Do you get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Specifically when it comes to anime fan and what that means, in those contexts, I can totally understand of like, yeah, don't call yourself an anime fan if you're just not going to even try anything else with these 4 animes. It's just not that serious. I can just say that you like those animes, or you like anime, or you're cool with it, or you're right with it, but I wouldn't call you a fan, because that would be the implication that like I can talk to you about it, I can recommend you stuff, I can do all this stuff because you're comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. Honestly, again, I've said this before, and I'll say it later in this video, it's not that serious. If being called an anime fan is real, like you're taking it to heart. Okay? Alright. Worried about you. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Just an example I wanted to put out there. Now, I don't agree with what he's saying, but I honestly understand and somewhat can see where he's coming from. Not even for the reasons that he gave, but just looking at this, I get what you're talking about. It's like someone saying, I played every Mario game known to man. I like video games. It'd be hard for me to believe you. Not even going to lie. And let me explain why. My mom likes a lot of old school video games, but I played Twilight Princess in front of her, and she said to turn it off because it was the devil. This actually happened. This is real. I was playing in the living room of my old house, and she did that. That doesn't mean she likes video games. She just likes the old school games from her childhood. That doesn't necessarily mean that she likes all video games whatsoever, so I can't just give her video games, even in the genre, and it'd be okay, because certain video games she's not cool with. So I can kind of understand what he means. It's like seeing a girl playing GTA 5 and Call of Duty, and her swearing up and down that she just loves video games. And of course she wants to go to this convention. It's like, sweetie, the convention's more than GTA and Call of Duty. There are a lot more stuff here. And then she gets there and she's bored out of her mind and complains the entire time. It's like, bitch, you said you like video games. It's like, well, I just like shooters, and I'm like, I brought you to a stand with shooters and you didn't like it. Well, I just kind of like COD and GTA 5. You can like video games and not necessarily be a fan. And first of all, if you're that offended that someone says that you're not a fan of something, you're probably into fan culture, and get out now. Because usually when people go under the umbrella of being a fan, it means that you're really into that thing, like, not to an obsessive point, but to a point where, like, I'm gonna be like, oh, a new video game's coming out? That looks dope. You know what I mean? Basically what I do, and my boyfriend does, which is look at new releases, care about other video games than the 2 I'm talking about. Do you get what I'm saying? So I understand what he means, the sense of, if you're just watching all the mainstream animes so you can, you know, be into the group, that doesn't necessarily mean that you like watching anime. Heck, if I like a part of a game, doesn't mean I like the entire game. I like a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons in a sense of, I played it once and I enjoyed it somewhat, but I would never play it again. Or even though I did play it again, it'd have to be under certain circumstances. I don't just like the game, I just like certain parts of the game. That's real. That's a thing. Now, do I think that means you can't be called an anime fan or a video game fan? No, that's dumb. That's stupid. I disagree with that. Do I get what he was trying to say? Yes. Like, I can't just say, oh, my boyfriend built this computer, so I really like computers and technology. No, I just really like how dope my computer is right now. It's pink, it lights up, and it's rainbow. And I can change the colors of the lights. That's dope. Ask me about any other part of technology, and I have no idea what to tell you. I'm not a fan of technology like my boyfriend. I'm not building the computer. Don't even really care about the hardware like that. Don't even care about how it looks. I just want a computer that looks dope. I like the shit, but I'm not a fan of it. I'm not going to go out my way to be really caring about anything else but my computer, because that's mine, and it glows, and it's pink. That's about it. Even then, I don't take care of it good neither. I don't even care that much, to be fair. Do you get what I'm saying? So I understand the sentiment. And even when he later explained it, I was like, okay, I understand where this was coming from. It just didn't come out the way I think he thought it would. I don't think the man knew it would blow up this big because it was just a random tweet that really didn't mean anything to anybody. It was just, I feel this way. People really acting like this is like a big thing. Like, this is a fucking Crunchyroll saying this shit, or Funimation, and it's really not, and no one should care. My point is, while I understand reading the article what this person was trying to say, do I think the article even warrant the tweet? No, I don't think it. I think it was just doing too much. They were doing too much of that. Do I feel like they meant some harm by it? No. Do I feel like it's this advanced gatekeeping like everybody's saying? No. I feel like studios and countries do more gatekeeping when it comes to anime than anything else. But that's a whole other, like, literally for me to go into that, that's a whole other topic. And literally, that's, people aren't, anime fans aren't ready for that. Let me be honest with you. That whole, because I've seen that shit happen all the time. Hell, even the people quote tweeting this tweet, I'm like, you gatekeep in every other sense, but in anime, it's too far. Like, people make me sick with the hypocrisy. Y'all will gatekeep everything. Fandoms, items, like anything and everything. You gatekeep it. But when it comes to anime, because weebism, it goes too far. And the going too far is a tweet that you could ignore, that you could scroll past. That's what gets your hot buttons up. Not anime being banned in other countries. Not me not even being able to listen to an opening sometimes because it's banned on YouTube and shit like that. That's not the hill you want to die on. But this tweet is what is enraging you at this moment. It's irritating. It's frustrating. It makes no goddamn sense. Why are you wasting your time? But then again, anime fans are actually really well known, are prone to this type of shit. They often overreact at shit they really shouldn't be overreacting on. And then when something is something that you should probably even actually talk about, it's like silence. Where were you? Where were you when this happened? Well, you see, I just didn't want to talk about it but this tweet, definitely something I should take the moral high ground on. Just look better to all my children fans. Cool. That makes sense. Totally makes. In conclusion, the tweet was dumb. People reacting to the tweet was dumb. People who couldn't read the tweet were dumb. This whole thing was dumb, and it was irritating because I couldn't go past my timeline without seeing it. I'm like, listen, they are OnlyFans bitches that I'm trying to see the posts of. Can't see them because I keep seeing retweets of dumbass statements who didn't read what the person said, and then people are retweeting that obviously didn't read what the person said. So it's just foolishness. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had people that are kind of swaying me to agree with this. Like, I've seen people who I've recommended 42 animes to, and they're like, no, I just remember watching Naruto 19 years ago, and like, I'm still an anime fan though. And it's like, bro, you haven't watched an anime in years. You seem like you don't even really care for them. You don't want to watch any other animes. We can't keep talking about the same four. So, but those are just specific situations, and I just want to talk about this one. So, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something made us find each other out there, made us realize we're